Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Antifa attacked conservative blogger Andy Ngo amid violence at Portland Proud Boys protest. Love a bit of alliteration there. Conservative blogger, yes, he's also gay and Asian, and the Patriot Prayer protest contained 30 people. Yeah, 30. Antifa was more than that, and bloody hell did they show it. When they know they got the number advantage, they make a field day of it. So, here we have a video showing just how friendly our left-wing comrades are. And there's Andy in the middle. And yes, I'm using The Independent because they're trying to show it in the best light they can. But they still have to admit some facts. At least, police arrest 3 suspects after 8 people injured and 3 taken to hospital in protest violence. And as you can see, there were several things being thrown. They say Andy Ngo was, and this follows occasions through several months of him receiving threats and attacks of a lesser sort, including in a gym. And he's received overt threats through Twitter and in real life because people don't know who he is. And some are saying, oh, it's the best thing for his career for this to have happened. So, well, yes, he's got brain bleeding. That could be permanent. That's fucking horrible, and it's definitely not good for his career. Andy Ngo was surrounded and beaten by protesters wearing black, with their faces concealed. Yes, the idea of saying, oh, me, officer, no, I was just wearing a hoodie because they're comfortable. It can't have been me that did it. It must have been somebody else. Pick one of the other 200 people. Good luck. Wearing black with the face was concealed while being covered in a milkshake that had some quick-drying cement in it. The idea being that it's very alkaline, it causes chemical burns, and it is, people on the packet it says avoid contact with skin, seek medical care if you do get contact. And the problem with it, that even in small parts it's bad, because you can get it in your shoes or your gloves or whatever that you're working with it, not realise it until later, at which point you have chemical burns because you didn't treat it soon enough because you weren't aware of it. Eggs and spray on Saturday. Spray? Oh, what kind of spray? So, oh, it's in pepper spray and bear spray. So no wonder he was just walking away because he probably couldn't see. Maybe he could hear, but that's about it. So of course he couldn't do anything about it. So you pelt someone with something initially to blind them, like pocket sand, so then they can't do anything about it, and then you go after them physically. Well, obviously keeping your face covered and running away afterwards so you can't be seen. And even the reporter say, yeah, sure, you're trying to get a video of it, but do you ever think that maybe your morals should be better than that? And that instead of just filming it, maybe you should defend somebody? I mean, you could just block attacks. If you just stop something being thrown at them, bat it away. What's wrong with that? You could do that. I'm sure that'd be even better for your career than just filming it. Seems very cowardly to me. He was taken to hospital for treatment. Yes, brain bleeding, after posting a video showing bruises and cuts to his face and neck. I just got beat up by the crowd, Mr. Ngo said. I was in the middle of the street, they stole my GoPro and punched me several times in my face and my head. I'm bleeding. He'd been covering protest against the male chauvinist Proud Boys group, which is known for street fighting in the Oregon city. As in, they're known for being attacked by Antifa, as we can see here that they're covering themselves up. And it was great that with 4chan's investigations, they found, oh, who is this Antifa member? Oh, it's a professor at a university. Oh. Okay. I mean, and recently we've seen journalists cooperating with Antifa substantially, working with them for them. So he's known for street fighting. Yes, as in, oh yes, well we saw the footage of the Antifa guy getting beat up by the Proud Boys. It's like, oh cool, can you show me 20 seconds before that footage? No. Okay, well I'm going to find it anyway. Oh, I see, so the Antifa guys are provoking the Proud Boys and physically assaulting them. And therefore the Proud Boys are defending themselves. Makes a lot more sense now. 3 people have so far been arrested for offences, including assault on a public safety officer, harassment and disorderly conduct. Police said 5 protesters and 3 police officers were treated by medics for injuries during the protest, and 3 people were taken to hospital after being attacked with weapons. How the hell can you still call these people anti-fascists when they're being that overtly brutal about it? One counter-demonstration had been organised by Rose City Antifa, which accused the Proud Boys of planning to invade downtown Portland looking for targets for violent attacks. Well, they didn't. It doesn't seem like there's any proof of that either. All it shows is Antifa being violent again. Which is why it's better to call them Antifa instead of Antifa, because then it gives no indication of what they think they stand for. They call for people to defend our city in an online blog that accused Moutinho of Islamophobia and promoted the Proud Boys. He's an editor of online magazine Quillette. Opponents characterise him as far-right campaigner. Yes, the gay Asian. He must be a, homophobic white supremacist, clearly. And criticised him over a Wall Street Journal article published last year entitled A Visit to Islamic England. Fair enough. Acid attack in Hackney, anybody? His lawyers, the doctors monitoring Mr. No's head injuries in hospital. Supporters have already donated more than $70,000. It's over $100,000 now, but good luck finding the link to a crowdfunding page called the Protect Anti-Neo Fund. And if I can find it, I will definitely put it in the description. And here we are saying that local media report only 30 people turned up for the original protest. And then we have somebody's grandfather for the appearance of things. A right-wing protester after being attacked in Portland's Pioneer Courthouse Square on 29th June. Yeah. Do you think he deserved that at all? I mean, if he did, surely you'd be framing it that way. But you haven't given any indication of that happening at all. Police attempted to keep them apart, and the Portland Mercury observed organisers giving out milkshakes. Why is that in quotation marks? Oh, because it's got quick drying cement in it. Right. In anti-fascist branded cups. So, oh, no. Not me, officer. I wasn't encouraging anybody to commit acts of violence. I was just handing out milkshakes. Great. Portland Police Bureau said later received reports of individuals throwing milkshakes with a substance mixed in what was similar to a quick-drying cement, adding one subject was arrested for throwing a substance during the incident. The trend of milkshaking, yeah, cool. But I give credit to the Independent in this article. How do they label Tommy Robinson? British anti-Islam activist Tommy Robinson. I mean, that's the most accurate I've heard. He's not anti-Muslim. He's not racist. He's not white supremacist. He's against extreme forms of Islam. So anti-Islam, that's just about tenable. Just about. One banner read, "Fuck Nazis and Fascists," the irony. Some protesters waved a banner for this satanic Portland anti-fascist and chanted, "Not hate, no fear, Proud Boys are not welcome here." No hate, you're not welcome. What? We hate you. Didn't you just... Shut up. I will hurt you. Footage showed scuffles. It's a great British word and really a lit out here. Between opposing protesters, while several anti-fascists were wearing face coverings or helmets and carrying homemade shields, bats, and weapons. Well, of course they were, because they don't know how to fight. It's like... okay. Sorry. In domestic violence situations, where women do about 40% of the violence, women are physically weaker than men, and they're much more likely to use weapons. Obviously, a woman can stab the man and sue the dead man's family for her getting a blister on her hand, but that's a story for a different video. But the weaker people tend to use weapons, because they're normally used to not being able to get through by brute strength, and having to find a different way to do things, in which case weapons are there. Which is why guns are a great equalizer, which is why, in cases where a man tries to rape a woman, he's successful 42% of the time if she doesn't have a gun, but less than 1% of the time if she does. Some say 0.09%. Yeah, seems like guns pretty good. Or if you're a delicate female, you could be young, you could be old and frail, and a big burly man comes up to you, and he's got a knife, and he wants what you've got, and you've just got a gun. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Even if you're shaking, he's going to be a bit nervous. Right, there were multiple assaults reported, as well as projectiles thrown at demonstrators and officers, because they don't care about the police either. A statement added, there were also reports of pepper spray and bear spray being used by people in the crowd. Officers deployed pepper spray during the incident. 2 officers were pepper sprayed, another was punched, and a colleague was hit in the head with a projectile during what police labelled a civil disturbance. Doesn't sound very civil to me. It's like there's nothing friendly about friendly fire. And you can presume, surely, that these people were from Antifa who were committing the violence, otherwise they would state, and these were the Proud Boys, these were the extreme right. It's like, at least they're labelled as a terrorist organisation in the US. So 3 people were arrested, 23-year-old man, a second-degree assault, an assault of a police officer, 21-year-old man with harassment, and a 23-year-old woman with disorderly conduct and harassment. Assistant Police Chief Chris Davis said there are hundreds of peaceful free speech events in the city in a given year that do not result in violence. Unfortunately, today some community members and officers were injured. Yeah, so free speech don't result in violence, but Antifa do. What's the common link? We are actively investigating these incidents, hold those responsible accountable. Thank you. And appealing to anyone who witnessed or filmed violence to contact crimetips@portlandoregon.gov. So, there we have it again. Yet another Antifa violent outburst. And this was against a journalist. So if you want to talk about, isn't Trump bad because he's limiting free speech for the journalists because he doesn't want them lying? Right. And these people are violently attacking a journalist because they disagree with him and possibly causing him permanent harm. And he's got to get treatment for that. So of course he's raised $100,000. Good on him, well done. And if I can find the link, I will put it in the description. But it could easily cost him that much. And if it's permanent and he needs repeating treatment, then it could cost him more than that. So he's just a journalist, and he's a gay Asian journalist for what it's worth as well. And when is it going to get to the point at which people say, we can't really rise above it? Like, it should be, hey, well, we're going to rise above what they're doing because we're better than that. Until you get to the point, well, hey, I am terrified for my own safety. I cannot rise above it because I might receive permanent harm. I'm not taking a chance. If the police won't protect me, if they're not going to do their job, then I'll do it myself. So as always, enroll in self-defense, especially jiu-jitsu, some sort of grappling. It's great. A lovely good thing about grappling is that you can put somebody on top of you, be in control of them, and you can use them as a meat shield, essentially. So if you got people throwing things at you, you can put somebody on top of you who you don't like and who is trying to attack you, so that they are your defense, while shouting for help, because let's not forget, you can be in a fight and shout help at the same time. It's suggested that when you're striking, you exhale at the same time. So instead of grunting, shout help. You'll get people around you, and all the time you can subdue somebody and use them as a human meat shield, then you'll get people around you to help. And because you know what you're doing, you're not going to hurt that person. The only people who will hurt them are the people around who are trying to hurt you. So that's what I strongly recommend. Do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Jocko Willink is an advocate of it, and so am I. So be the strongest version of yourself, as Elliot Hulse would say, and I will see you next time.